of his double century, one short. A very smart bit of work by Paul Harris, takes the court and bowled. Michael Vaughan decides on the spur of the moment to declare. Well, poor Ian Bell, he really deserved that double century, and the crowd know it. They're showing their appreciation for a fabulous innings. It was an innings studded with great strokes and writ all over with fabulous class. And it was really the reason why England have managed a colossal score of 593 for 8 declared.
And the foundation for that colossal total that Simon was talking about came from Andrew Strauss and Alistair Cook, who played so well when the ball was moving around after England had been put into bat on Thursday morning. Then
Ian Bell is one of those batsmen who invariably looks fantastically good in the middle, but doesn't always deliver what he promises. But in this match, it's been different. It all began with the first ball he received yesterday, a half volley caressed through the offside with beautiful panache. There's a classic orthodoxy about his method. Head upright, eyes perfectly level, the bat going straight back towards the wicket-keeper, left shoulder pointing down the wicket, and a lovely relaxed nature about his stance too, and a minimum of movement as he repels the ball. It's all very compact and well balanced and wristy too, knocking the ball into the gaps on the leg side. Here's a glorious straight drive showing the maker's name to the bowler and hitting it perfectly straight back down the wicket. He's blessed with silky timing that really makes the ball race to the boundary, and balletic footwork, allowing him to find gaps on the offside against the spinner. Look at this beautiful shimmy up the wicket and glorious full follow through. He's got all the shots too, he's got the square cut. The pull, notice rolling the wrists to keep it down. Something deft, wide of the wicket-keeper, and something quite innovative too, late in his innings. There's his score chart. That's not a wagon wheel, that's a plate of spaghetti. Shots all round the wicket to all points of the compass. And this really was his first mistake. On 199, just getting underneath that to chip it back to the bowler, depriving him of his double century. And as he walked off, he would have felt more than a touch of disappointment, mixed with the elation of making his highest test score. Surely that immaculate innings will finally dispel the doubters. Now, Makarantini taking over from Morkel at the pavilion end. Bell's hit one straight up in the air. This could be an easy catch. It will be an easy catch for Boucher. That is a soft dismissal. The second one in this innings. Ian Bell hangs his head, but unfortunately he's only got himself to blame, Geoffrey.
That's not just a soft dismissal, it's an appalling dismissal. Bell was playing nicely for 20, giving it away. England now in bigger trouble, 104 for 4.
Sword of Damocles is hanging over Paul Collingwood's head after a woeful summer for England in Test cricket. 43 runs he's made in 6 innings at an average of 8.6. This could be his last chance to try and rescue something. Well, that's a good response from Collingwood. Similarly, in fact, to the way Michael Vaughan dealt with a short ball from Makarantini. He's not going to go down without a fight.
Short ball again. Oh, that's a 100 partnership. Collingwood's pulled it for 4. Takes him to 49. It's the first 100 partnership of the match. England lead by 124. Here we go. I could tell that was coming. I could sense it, and he's hit it. He's left-handed sweep. Not a reverse sweep, that. He turns his hands around. He does it so early. The bowler ought to see him. Before he lets the ball go, Pietersen is already jumping into position. Look, turning the hands, jumping into position. I don't know why the bowler doesn't stop and just think about it. Then come back and bowl a different delivery. But well played even so. Again. There we are, another one. No, I don't think he thinks you can bowl, Mr. Harris. Not at him at the moment. In position before he lets the ball go. Do something different, bowler. well played, Paul Collingwood. That brings up his 50. First 50 of the summer. He made 350s in New Zealand, but here it's like a lifeline for him, isn't it? Oh, what a major moment for his career. 50 of 61 balls. Oh, he's going. Where is this? Oh, he's holed out. Well, what do you say to that? He's cross with himself, so he should be. This partnership has had South Africa in the palm of the hand. And he's tried to slog it over the man halfway back. Look at this. Didn't have to do it, but it's the way he plays, Kevin Pietersen. He's thrilled the crowd. He should be cross, but it's a wonderful 94 of 136 balls, giving England a lead of 136. Oh, Collingwood's gone over the top. The confidence growing galore. That could be 6. Oh, yes, the crowd are up. What a wonderful performance. It's been a real test of character. He'll probably look back on his test career and think, well, I've probably played better innings technically and aesthetically, but this will be one of the best moments of his life through character, adversity, difficulty, lack of form, and the crowd are all standing to him. They know how much it means to a player who's been really down and nearly out if he'd have failed in this test match.
And it wasn't long after that Tim Ambrose boundary that play came to a close. England 297 for 6. Paul Collingwood got a rousing reception, not just from the crowd, but from the South African players too. It was the most splendid scene as he left the field. Look at that, everybody standing to him. This has been one of the bravest and most exhilarating performances you could ever wish to see. 101, Tim Ambrose still there with 19. His role is not to be underestimated, not just in this partnership, but with what's to come too.
Out! Superb comeback this by South Africa. The last 3 wickets have fallen in very quick succession, and finally Paul Collingwood's triumphant and valiant innings comes to an end for 135, and everybody in the crowd quite rightly rise to him for a tremendous performance. England lead by 280, South Africa need 281 to win, and you know how many Australia needed in that amazing Ashes series in 2005 here? 282.
Could be out. That could be out. He hasn't seen it. He hasn't seen it. There's the breakthrough. Flintoff very cleverly used that very fast, full, straight Yorker that he gave Cali such trouble with. And he's done the trick. You could see when you see the replay, he did not pick it up.
For some reason, the South Africans cannot pick up Andrew Flintoff when he bowls that full ball. It might be the blue seats at the pavilion end, it might be the dark windows, but either way, they've had real problems with that exact delivery. It just catches Mackenzie outside the line of off stump, but of course he's not playing a shot, so you can be given out LBW as long as the ball's going on to hit the stumps. Joy for Andrew Flintoff. It is brilliant fast bowling from a cricketer who can inspire the nation today. South Africa's first wicket has fallen.
The bounce as well.
No, I think probably missing leg. No! Alim says out. Fantastic work by Panesar. He bowled a few just outside off stump, which Amla had left, and then he was defeated by the one that seemed to skid on with the arm, Barry.
Yeah, much better delivery, and that's Monty at his best. I'm not sure this is out. Alim Dar seems to give them out on the back foot, but not the front foot. I don't know whether this is a little bit high. We'll have a look at it. It's hit him above the roll quite a long way. And there we get the confirmation. I thought it might have been going over the top. The umpire's decision is much more important. South Africa lose their second. Amla's gone 78 for 2.
Punched it past mid-on for his first boundary. Oh dear, could that be out? Yes, it is. It's a full toss. He's totally lost sight of that Callis. He can't believe it. He's standing there, furious, Callis nearly actually whacking down the bails or whacking down the stumps after that decision. Joy on the England faces and absolute despair on Callis.
Well, this is a massive moment. Callis is absolutely livid. He didn't spot that at all. It's come out of probably the window at the back, and he's not happy. He reckons this might have been a little bit too high. Where was it? Callis hasn't spotted it. It's hit him just below the waist. And Jacques Callis is on his way for 5. South Africa in all sorts of trouble. 83 for 3.
Now, here's the problem that Barry Richards referred to. The side screen presently has that npower advertising on it. That, of course, would be white. Above it sit people, and just above them are those dark windows with their bright reflections. They're the areas in which the ball is getting lost, and the players are having such a problem seeing Andrew Flintoff's fully pitched balls. Why is Jacques Callis so angry? Well, for many reasons, not least that on the third morning, 3 South Africans, Callis himself, Mark Boucher, and the coach Mickey Arthur, spoke to the umpires. What the South Africans wanted was for extra screening to go across those windows. The problem was both captains didn't agree, and I guess Michael Vaughan's thinking, if I've got Andrew Flintoff and he's causing the problem, why would I agree? The problem for the batsman is that it plays on the mind. It's a horrific experience to bat against it, and it gets you out.
Oh, now, what about that? They like it, New England.
Goodness me.
England think it hit the glove here. As it turns and bounces, they think it hit the glove. And I think they did.
Oh, that's a good ball, and that one is out. This time Ashwell Prince must go. Lovely seaming delivery from James Anderson. England are going crazy out there. We've known this as a stronghold for English cricket for a long time. Huge crowd get behind them. They feel almost unbeatable here.
Well, they know they've got South Africa on the run. The crowd know, the crowd's up for it, the players are. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's a clatter of wickets. If England really bowl well at both ends, I think you'll have some really stirring cricket by England. 90.
It's got to keep playing the natural way. That's it. That's the one. Monty strikes. And de Villiers has got to go. It's been a very, very good partnership for South Africa. It's in the balance again. They were looking like they might just count it down, and then Monty strikes.
Beautifully bowled. You see, drawing him on the front foot, tossing it up, turning. That's an excellent, orthodox, perfect left-arm spinner's delivery. It's 171 for 5.
Strauss, who's captain temporarily while Vaughan's off the field. Smith, 99, goes to 100. Fantastic innings from the South African captain. Really, he's played as well as he could possibly have hoped for. What a moment and what an opportunity he's given South Africa. $150 for Graham Smith. Typical turn off his body off Monty Panesar. It's also the 100 partnership brought up by this pair, Smith and Boucher. All done with South Africa, just needing 10 more to complete the series victory. Yes, another wonderful bit of timing by Mark Boucher. This is a tremendous performance. You can't speak highly enough of both Boucher, well, de Villiers, Smith, so many of the South Africans who've played as a team but had outstanding heroes today.
Oh, shouting. No, leg by. Oh, 2 to win, South Africa. They're all waiting, ready, his teammates. Someone on the edge of the boundary waiting. Don't get out. You don't deserve to get out. You play fantastically well. There it is. That should be it. That's it. The winning runs came from the man that mattered. The captain, Smith. What a fantastic innings, 154 not out. South Africa win by 5 wickets. They win the series. The first time they've beaten England in a series in England since their readmission to Test match cricket. It's a wonderful moment for them. Terrific performance. England, well, I think they had a great opportunity to win. It's quite a big total to get 4th innings. The ball turning, I don't think Monty's bowled that well. I think the seamers, after the initial attempt with the new ball, ran out of steam, and I think it's hurt England that they only have 4 bowlers. Well played, Graham Smith, fantastic.
Tremendous run chase by South Africa, the highest 4th innings total ever made here at a Test match at Edgbaston, dominated by Graham Smith, 154 not out, but don't forget A.B. de Villiers, 27, and also Mark Boucher, 45 not out. No real hope for the England bowlers. Anderson with 1 wicket, Panesar disappointing, 2 for 91, and Flintoff tried his best with 2 for 72 from 20, but in the end, South Africa were just too good to win by 5 wickets and take the series 2-0.
I spoke to my dad this morning. He said, you know, you can walk away a proud lad because you've given it everything, and that's all he ever asked me to do.
Very good afternoon to you. An emotional Michael Vaughan has confirmed he is standing down as England's Test captain after the series defeat to South Africa.
His replacement for the 4th Test will be announced tomorrow. We'll look back on Vaughan's illustrious career as captain.
Michael has been the best possible ambassador for the game, and his record as captain speaks volumes for the type of character he has instilled in the England dressing room over the past 6 years.
And there'll be a new captain of the one-day side as well. Paul Collingwood has also resigned. We've got all the reaction for you right here. Michael Vaughan has stepped down as England captain after 5 years in charge. He still wants to play for his country, but will not be involved in the final test against South Africa at the Brit Oval.
Today, guys, I've decided to stand down as England captain. To be honest, it's the hardest decision I've ever had to make, but also the easiest. The hardest, I'm giving away, you know, the job that I've loved for 5 years, put my heart and soul into the job, but it's also the easiest because my mind just told me to pack it in, and I just felt if I kept on going, you know, my career could come to an abrupt end, and I just think this decision will hopefully prolong my career. Firstly, I want to thank all the players I've had the privilege to captain. It really is an honour to captain your country, but to captain players, which I've had the privilege to do, and the good blokes that I've had to captain as well. You know, I really want to thank all them. And last but not least, I want to thank my family. They've been a huge rock. I know how proud my mum and dad have been. And I spoke to my dad this morning. He said, you know, you can walk away a proud lad because you've given it everything, and that's all he ever asked me to do. So I really want to thank them. As I said before, I think this decision will prolong my career. As you've seen this week, I'm moving better than ever in the field. I'm actually catching the ball as well. So hopefully this will make my last few years of playing a very exciting time, and hopefully score plenty of runs. I will say that I'm going to take a little bit of a break from the game, so I won't be playing at the Oval. I just think this is a big decision, and I need a few weeks to just go away and get away from the game, and then finish the season with Yorkshire, and I'm now in the ranks of all the other players that I have to score runs to get back in the team. So again, thanks. I hope you've respected me, and you know, I've certainly respected everyone, including yourself, so thank you very much.
Well, it's almost 5 years to the day since Nasser Hussain stood down as England captain after a drawn first test at Edgbaston against South Africa. Well, I'm glad to say Nasser...
Yes, thanks very much indeed. Hugh's alongside me. Hugh, well, there's been lots of reaction already. We've heard Nasser Hussain speak there emotionally himself, and we saw Michael Vaughan, a very emotional, well, former England captain now. That's quite a performance, wasn't it?
Yeah, extraordinary. And, you know, Michael's not just one of the best cricketers that we've produced in recent times, and one of the best leaders that England have ever had. He's just a thoroughly good human being, and has done a terrific job as England captain. In that respect, he's going to be hugely missed.
And it's something I asked you in the press conference, but do you feel that this is the right time for Michael? You've made it clear it was his decision. Is this the time for English cricket to move on?
Yeah, it was absolutely Michael's decision. I had a conversation with him late last night, and you know, one of Michael's many strengths is that he's a very decisive man, and when he makes a decision, he likes to stick to it. And it was very, very clear from our conversation that the time was right for Michael to step aside.
And of course, you're no doubt aware almost the pressure was on, a lot of questions about his form and whether he was worthy of his place in the side. Would there have come a point, Hugh, where you might have actually had to have the word instead of Michael coming to you?
I mean, you know, we've just lost a series very disappointingly. We went into the South African series with high hopes, and clearly we're 2 down with 1 to play. And when you have as disappointing a loss as that, you've got to review everything you do. And clearly we would do that. But, you know, I'd just like to make it very clear that it was Michael who called me rather than the other way around.
And your own tribute to Michael's captain, because obviously you came into your job with him, obviously already the England captain after the Ashes victory. Your own tribute to him, how do you sum him up as the England captain?
I'd love to have worked with him for longer. As I say, I think he's just a really good human being, not just a really good cricketer. I think I'm right in saying that I actually played against him when he made his first class 100 as well. So I knew from that stage when he was about 18, 19 years of age, he was going to be a very, very fine player. He's been one of the best players, as I say, one of the best batsmen that England's produced, and you know the memories of 2005 come flooding back. You know, that's a lot of that was down to Michael Vaughan, and you know he'll be sadly missed as a leader for England.
You're very.
Tim, thanks very much indeed. That, of course, is the future. Looking back at the career of Michael Vaughan, when he says he's going to take a break from the game, he will continue playing. He has played 82 tests so far, scored over 5,000 runs at an average of just over 40, 18 50s and 18 centuries in there. Since returning from that serious knee injury in 2007, his record has dipped a bit, though. In 18 tests, he scored over 1,000 runs, an average of 36.25 and scored 300s. But his record so far this summer has been an all-time low. In 5 innings, he's only managed 40 runs at an average of just 8. Of the 13 England players who have taken part in this series, only Monty Panesar has a lower batting average. Tim Ambrose, Ryan Sidebottom and James Anderson all average over 10.
Michael Vaughan's reign began as it ended against South Africa back in 2003. Already one-day captain, he took over the test side after Nasser Hussain's unexpected resignation.
Yeah, I feel I'm ready for the job. I thought I did okay in the one days. Enjoyed the challenge of captaining the team. I'm really looking forward to captaining of what is most of the side that I had in the one-day team. So I'm really excited and looking forward to the challenge.
And although he got off to a bad start with heavy defeat in his first test, the series was drawn, and under Vaughan's captaincy, England soon became one of the most successful teams in world cricket. In 2004, they were unbeaten, winning 11 and drawing 2. Before completing a series victory in South Africa for the first time since 1965. And then came his crowning glory. In winning the Ashes series 2-1, Vaughan became the first England skipper to defeat Australia since Mike Gatting in 1987. A nation celebrated, Vaughan was made an OBE, but while he was roundly admired for his stewardship of the team, there was increasing concern over his own form as a batsman. His average had dropped since he'd become captain. His 166th in the 3rd test at Old Trafford, his only innings of real note in the series. And if he was struggling for form, he had no luck with fitness either. A persistent knee injury saw him miss the first test in Pakistan later that year. He played in the next 2, but then missed almost all of 2006. He was only a bystander as the Ashes were lost in a 5-0 series whitewash. He returned to international cricket in 2007, and when England beat the West Indies at Old Trafford, it was his 21st Test win as captain, a new English record. However, poor form saw him replaced as the one-day skipper by Paul Collingwood. And after he again struggled to make an impact with the bat on tours to Sri Lanka and then New Zealand, where he averaged just 20, questions over his inclusion in the team grew louder. And they haven't gone away in what's been a difficult summer. As captain, he appeared to be at odds with selectors over the inclusion of bowler Darren Pattinson for the 2nd test against South Africa. And just 40 runs scored in 5 innings have added to the pressure. A 5-wicket loss in the 3rd test was the final straw. Vaughan's reign ends as it began, with defeat against South Africa. Roger Clark, Sky Sports.
Well, Vaughan will be regarded as one of England's greatest captains. In 51 tests, he won 26 of those, an English record, drew 14 and lost 11. These last 2 defeats were the first time he's lost back-to-back test matches as skipper. Only Michael Atherton has captained England in more Test matches than Vaughan. Vaughan, though, with a far better win ratio. Mike Brearley fared even better than that. He won 58% of his matches as captain between 77 and 81. Vaughan's win ratio compares well with anyone, you have to say. Of all the players who've captained their countries in more than 35 Tests, only Ricky Ponting, Steve Waugh, Sir Viv Richards and Mark Taylor have won a greater percentage of Tests than Vaughan.
It's been a tumultuous day for English cricket because Paul Collingwood has also announced he's resigned as skipper of the one-day side. Collingwood says the decision is best for the future of the England team and he wants to concentrate on his batting. He saved his place in the Test team with a century in the second innings at Edgbaston.
Thank you. Kevin Pietersen has been named as new captain of the England cricket team following Michael Vaughan's resignation at the weekend. The 28-year-old will lead England against his native South Africa in the 4th Test starting Thursday. Ollie Foster reports.
They haven't moved quickly enough to take down the Michael Vaughan posters at the home of cricket, but quick enough to put a new man in his place. And Kevin Pietersen has promised to lead by example.
I think I'm going to captain hopefully the way that I play, the way that my personality is, and hopefully that'll bring a lot of success to English cricket. And I'll give it a good go. I'll give it as best a go as I possibly can do. I'm not going to wimp out of it.
He's never been accused of that. One of the game's most aggressive batsmen.
Hits it again, magnificent batting.
He's been an ever-present in the side since qualifying to play for England almost 4 years ago. He was born in South Africa but switched allegiances when he felt that he was being held back by the country's racial quota selection policy. Their loss was England's gain. In 42 tests, his highest score is 226, with an average of over 50. And he scored the quickest ever one-day century for England off just 69 balls.
This is where it all started for Pietersen in the Test arena. 3 years ago, he shone in the Ashes series, and after he's taken England on tour to India and the West Indies, Australia will be back next summer.
He'll relish that because helping to win the Ashes turned his life upside down in 2005. He achieved pin-up status overnight with the ever-changing haircut. The pop star girlfriend, now his wife. It was cricket's answer to Posh and Beck's. Captain's material, though? Well, some have their doubts.
A captain doesn't have to be universally popular. I know at times that some of the England players, they sort of tolerate him rather than warm to him, so he's got to win them over.
Kevin brings some very strong attributes to the job. He's clearly a pretty confident bloke. He's got the ability to lead from the front. But it's a big job and it's not one that he's done much before of, so he's going to need the senior players to get behind him and support him as much as possible.
The Pietersen era starts at the Oval on Thursday against South Africa. He says he wants to do the job with a smile on his face, but as previous captains will tell him, results will dictate that. Ollie Foster, BBC News at Lord's.